Supposed to be seamless right into this next panel, so if you want to go ahead and start asking questions. Do we have more villains showing up?
Well, then I'll just talk in this sinister voice for the rest of this panel.
Go ahead, sir. What is your question?
I'd like to say hello to all of you first. I have two really short questions for Lord Zed, the Emperor of all time. How did you feel when they made your character more kid-friendly after mothers started complaining you were giving their children nightmares?
I didn't feel that good about it. I felt the integrity of the character was being compromised.
Second, how do you feel you never got the long, drawn-out, epic Lord Zed rant that your Japanese counterpart got due to all the sound caused by next year's shooting locations?
Lord Zed rant?
I know the Japanese voice actor who's your counterpart, and there's long rants that you never got to do, and I'd like to know what your long rant would have been if you got the maniacal, megalomaniac Lord Zed rant you would have gotten.
I don't know. I had so much dialogue in the show, I don't see what...
Your segments are only about 1.5 to 2 minutes long.
That's a long time to be lost in a monologue.
I have two questions. Firstly, for Barbara, would you please do You're Giving Me a Headache?
Oh, we haven't heard that from the first part, do we?
I have such a headache, and I will do that right now. I have such a headache!
Well, it was interesting, you know, you have to sort of meet and get to know the people in the next cast, and of course they're the previous season and you're the new season coming in, and that's kind of weird, but, you know, I played such an arrogant character that I just used that as a part of what was going on with the character. He didn't care, and he was boastful about it, but you know, it's no different than any time you work with a cast, a new cast in a film, or anyone else. You just get to know them, and you do the character work and the study, and you go on. Being in Forever Red was an honor. Koichi invited me to that because the character, because the Quantum Ranger wore a red suit as well, and was, I guess, a Red Ranger. That was, what was that? You had the best gear. Oh, thank you very much. I thought. You have roller skates! But that was an honor. That was an honor. And then, you know, like the rest of the guys that are on that show, we were all sitting there thinking, God, I don't have enough fight scenes in this yet. I need some more screen time. But it was an honor and a pleasure.
And was there anything real with Allison there, with the team of the golf course, who played Taylor?
She and I went out to dinner after the show once or twice, and she was an interesting girl. You're welcome.
Oh my God. My favorite characters growing up were Lord Zed and Rita, and it is such an honor to see you two, just to speak to you. Yeah. All hail Lord Zed! I have two questions. Who were your favorite characters, and can you think Go Go Power Rangers in your character voices, please?
My favorite characters of the show? Yeah. Lord Zed and Rita. Lord Zed and Now, what are we saying?
And Rita. I love doing Orbis too. And Sprocket. And Mandilock. I don't know the answer now. I mean, any character that I'm doing is my favorite at the time that I'm doing it.
I did I Die, by the way. What are we saying?
Go Go Power Rangers!
Go Go Power Rangers!
Thank you so much!
And that's how I sing.
I have a question for
Yes, sir.
Barbara and...
I thought... That's my other game.
I actually have a question for all of you. The first question is, was there any scenes or like stunts that you like said no to?
Good.
No. However, I'll tell you what, because I did all my own stunts in that show, and I have to say, except for the costume stuff, they rarely had me transfer into the Quantum Ranger because they had me doing a lot of that, of my own action as the actor. Whenever it was the costume character, most of the time it was the Japanese crew, but a few times it was my roommate who was also a stuntman. It's kind of weird. But I can't remember the name of the episode, but it's the episode where my quantum morpher is taken, and there's a scene, I know from the Japanese footage, where the guy jumps off a bridge into the water. It's a high fall, and that takes a specific skill set to be able to do. And I remember thinking, are they going to make me jump off the bridge? I mean, can I say no? I'm this guy who's supposed to be a stunt guy and does all his own stuff. Am I going to say no? And they're setting it up and they're putting the mattress underneath, and I'm thinking, are they going to get the shot of me jumping off the bridge close up and then have me go into the water? And I remember being quite nervous about that. And they used the Japanese footage of the stunt guy from Japan. No, I'm grateful for that. I used to watch all the dailies from the show, and I did, when I was doing all the action, and I was, trying really hard to make this character good and develop the character. And I remember one day doing all the stunts and then doing a scene with Aaron Cahill by the river and being really exhausted for that scene. And when we went back to watch the dailies, the reason I was exhausted was because I was running around doing the stunts all day too. Then you can't tell it's me doing me. And I sat there and I thought, okay, this is a good lesson. Just because I was a stunt man, I don't have to have an ego about it. It's good to have the stunt guy come in. And nowadays, after I've had a few more years of some stunt jobs here and there, I'm much more appreciative of when I'm doubled, and I welcome it.
And my second question would be, how did it feel to play like the badass rival to the Red Ranger? And were you bummed that you had to turn good in the end?
Me?
No.
I kind of knew that was coming, that he was going to have to come around because he's a hero, and aside from his dark backstory, your hero has to be likable. But what I did was I approached it from a character standpoint that whether he was evil, an evil character, the villain, or the hero, the antagonist or the protagonist, from their standpoint, they are the hero of their own story. And that's where I went, and whatever was going to happen was going to happen. And so I played him hardcore, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, I think sometimes it kind of went to my own head. Started walking around like I was Eric in my own personal life. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks.
Princess Leia.
Alright. Okay. Wow, I'm really excited right now.
You take the photo? The question? The photo,
it's like
question.
recording.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, and
We'll wave to the
okay, this is kind of like a question for Barbara, and I'm just wondering, how did you feel when your character Rita Repulsa, she was from this #1 villain in Power Rangers, and then suddenly when Lord Zed just kind of like popped it right in, and he kind of like shrunk her, and then she just became into the side character. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I never thought of her as a side character. I thought of it more as a storyline, and I was fine with that. And when she disappeared for a while, I was kind of disappointed. I thought, I'm done, and I actually I wore the costume once and made a picture for Hayam and Shuki saying, out of work empress needs employment. And sure enough, she came back, so it worked great. And then when Robert and I were fighting and bickering, it had a new life and a wonderful life. I loved when we were married and everything. It was funny stuff.
Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.